Yeah, they would not let me log in this morning. It took me at least 15 minutes, I think. It was crazy. We are live. This is Sue Greenwald with Awakened Stories here today with the real, the one, the only, bum 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 bum, John F. Kennedy Jr. Hey John, how are you?
I am doing wonderful, Sue. You asked me to chat with you this morning, and it made my whole day. And we hit 84,000 followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call it, on Facebook.
It's awesome.
So, yeah, that put a smile on my face.
It's awesome. Yeah. Well, I like to try to check in once a week. So, there's a lot going on out there in the world and everyone's busy and blah, 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 blah. But, we don't want your story getting buried. There's so many other stories going on out there that need attention too. We don't want you to get buried because your story is so important. It's part of the Epstein files. It meshes in perfectly with what's being revealed. And have you noticed people are starting to actually kind of forget about the Epstein files lately? Like it was a big deal for like a week or two, and now it's like fizzling out a little.
Oh, yeah, that's the human race. They get distracted, just like my
Yeah,
story.
yeah,
A lot of people start sharing it, and a couple of weeks later, they're like out of the picture because they think they did their share, but it's so huge that people stick in there and till we see justice for
yeah,
the world.
yeah.
Like you said, the Epstein files. My father was assassinated by the same group of people that run this country to this day, and that's what the
Yeah.
Epstein files are more than just molesting children. It's brainwashing the children, it's controlling the children, it's adding them to the cult, it's putting them in power along with you after you totally screwed up their head and everything else. It's
Yeah,
huge, but
yeah,
it's all connected to the
all
same
connected.
crime ring that runs the United States government and the world.
Yep,
It really is.
yep.
I'm a victim of that. I watched my whole family unalived. They put it out there in public with my father's execution and my uncle's execution, but that was their plan because secretly they went behind the scenes and started unaliving my sister and my mother and my aunts and my uncles and replacing them. This isn't no small little unorganized crime ring. This is the best in the world. And they can literally unalive someone and replace that person with identity theft.
Right.
And they're the ones that are in control of us. It's
Yeah.
so important that we get the story out and we take our country back from these evildoers. They don't care about human lives. And I learned that a long, long time ago in 1975 when they unalived my sister. She was just a child. That's part of the Epstein files, what they do.
Right.
After they unalived my sister at 15 years old, they replaced my sister. But they had enough power to deceive within the media and change things around and lie. History isn't even what people think it is because one replacement of one human being changes history. Once you change the bloodline, it changes history, and people still believe in the lies that they've been told.
Right.
So we're trying to set it straight to the world that hey, the man that stole my identity, um, put in place by media, by government to steal the Kennedy fortunes, had no Kennedy blood. He was actually an organized crime family son, the son of an organized Aristotle Onassis.
Yeah.
And people need to wake up. I just read a video the other day, read a video. I saw a video on Facebook, and it said the John the whole world knew was speaking fluent Greek. Well, of course, his mother was Greek, his father was Greek. They spoke Greek in front of me all the time, not that I understood it. Aristotle Onassis, when I was sitting at the table, taught me as a child how to eat an artichoke. Um, you know, it, it's crazy things like that, but that's why he spoke Greek because he was born into that, you know,
Yeah.
and there's so many new things coming out each and every day that I'm not lying to the world. I'm not, I get so much haters and everything, but I'm just trying to expose how bad how bad the world's been lied to over all this.
Right. I think when the population hears the truth and they learn the lies that they've been told, their minds are going to be blown. It's so much bigger than we know. Like we know pieces of it that are really serious. It's so much bigger and deeper and more involved than we know. So we need to get all these pieces out. My theory is the more we know now, right? We learn and we have a foundation. We learn more and we build on that foundation of belief. The easier it's going to be to hear the truth down the road, like because it's going to be big stuff. I don't know that everyone can, handle that in the future. It's big stuff. Like,
It's huge. My story, as far as I know, is bigger than the Epstein files.
it's big.
Not that it's, I mean, the Epstein files and the victims, there's many, many victims,
Yeah.
but I've seen many victims by this superpower of evil.
Yeah.
It's
So right now, we've seen the government run by pedophile cannibals that do genetic experiments, torture, all sorts of nasty things. And we're just like letting them get away with it right now, right? Nothing's been done,
yeah,
right?
it's really sad.
So if that story's true, why can't your story be true? Why do they have disbelief that your story is true? They should at least have open minds to understand not everything we've been taught is true.
And
So
there's so much proof.
yeah. So here is a great documentary that was done for John, The Quiet Journey.tv. It's a 1 hour documentary. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it, The Quiet Journey.tv. It's also at John's website, The Real John F. Kennedy Jr., JR.com. So that's a great way to get the story in 1 hour. Really well done video. And we did write a book about John's experiences. There's 4 books now. So this is Quest for Justice. This is a summary of all the stories John has told us over the past few years. It's kind of a thin book, easy to read, quick. You can just kind of get the gist about how John was kidnapped, tortured, like he's witnessed a murder, he's almost been killed. Well, that I've written about is 28 times. 28 times. Like that's crazy. And then 6 airplane crashes, helicopter crashes. Like just this story alone is just so eye-opening, right? And you had to live it. There's a lot of trauma that you've had to endure. And like I said before, you're kind of the the person, the point person for the whistleblowers. You're wading through this, getting the story out there, persisting, and everybody that is coming forward has you to thank for, like opening the eyes of the general public even more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope
So,
more people come out.
yeah.
There's so many people that know my story that aren't speaking up, and I think
Yeah.
it's because they are in fear for their lives.
Yeah, they're afraid. Yeah.
I was in fear for my life, my entire life. When you got the federal government saying if you ever share your story, we'll eliminate you, and the hard part is when they say anybody you share your story to, they will be unalived.
Yeah.
So that made it hard. But when I thought my life was going to end, the doctors were like, "You're probably not going to survive coming off this operation table." It was like, yeah, my story's got to get out. I was screaming, "I'm the real John Kennedy Jr. The world needs to know."
Yeah.
And maybe God heard me and has kept me, you know, alive this long. But
They were hoping you weren't going to be around, right? Because then they could make it look like, a medical thing, right? They cash in on your accounts and then you're out of the picture, right? That's
yeah,
what they
it's
were
been
hoping.
going on for years.
Yeah.
2008 and on, when I had to go to the hospital, and basically in 2013 they killed me in the hospital. I had paddle marks from where they had to revive me and every other thing, but they did a number on me in that
Yeah.
hospital,
Yeah.
all the way from poking holes in my lungs, and they went wild. But yeah, I survived that. It wasn't fun how I had to survive crawling around on the ground. You know, John Kennedy Jr., the son of a president, after that, crawling around in the dirt trying to get from a camper trailer to a car just to go somewhere because, you know, they screwed me up in the hospital
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
But I'm still here and I'm
Yeah.
sharing my story, and I hope everybody shares it because it's that important. The future of the children, it's that important for the future of the United States.
Yeah.
The United States is on the verge of collapse. It really is, especially with the regime that we have in place now. And you know, they don't know what war is. When I was young, I was sent to Vietnam. Our CIA sent me there to teach me, to train me how to kill and every other thing. And war is not fun. War is not pretty. No one wants war. But you got these people in power, they go to the podium and they say, well, we're killing all these people because it's fun. What the fuck? War is not fun. Killing is not fun. Every human life is precious. It really is. And when you see these people in power in our government saying it's fun to kill, no, they're the ones that need to be tried and convicted of treason for what they do. And I hope I live long enough to see it. I really, really do. I hope, I'm not in any condition to be marching to Washington, but I'll be happy to go there and supervise the takeover of the United States of America and give it back to we the people.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all about Robin Hood. It really is. We need to put everyone that's involved in this big scandal, the Epstein files, these rich billionaires, and there's actually only about 4,000 of them, and we need to put them in prison. We need to seize all their assets, every single one, because most of them, and I personally know this, was achieved by murder, the theft and murder of other individuals so they could become the billionaires they are to this day.
Right.
Take every single penny they got from them and their family, their bloodline, because they're not even who they say they are,
Yeah.
and let's put it back for we the people. Instead of sending billions and billions and billions of dollars to kill children in another country that has no effect on us. The Epstein files, it's in there that they kill children in the Epstein files. And yet we're allowing them to kill children in other countries, let alone this country. They need to start worrying about our country. They
Yeah.
do, and the
Yeah.
future of our country.
I've learned so much in the couple of years we've talked, like, and it is in the book. Why do they go to the trouble of replacing someone, creating a look-alike, doing plastic surgery, getting a mask, whatever it might be, however they replace them? Why bother? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Well, it does make sense when you think they're doing this to all the people, basically those that have money, power, whatever it might be. They take over those that have, and then they drain their accounts, they drain their assets, they control the population, however those people were doing it before. And then they have their buddies doing the same thing. So they're very tight together. They gain the wealth. Us guys do the work,
Yeah.
right?
Well, what's going on is we have a secret society, and it's not a good secret society. They pre plan the worst crimes in the world. They will be hugging and kissing on someone, planning their murder, their demise. They're that sick. My marriage when I was young, they knew I was John Kennedy Jr., so they planned my marriage. My wife's grandfather, his exact words were like hermit crabs. You simply move into someone else's
Right,
shell.
right.
He was connected with John Gotti. hello. But they pre-plan this. They pre-plan what they're going to do, how they're going to unalive someone. And in my circumstance, you had my father that was the president of the United States. You had the Kennedy family worth billions of dollars, whether it was the grandfather, the grandmother, my mother's side of the family. But they pre planned my mother after they murdered my father and my uncle. They planned to put Ted Kennedy and Bobby Kennedy. They planned to replace me. So all those funds went to organized crime. They had
Yeah.
my mother marry Aristotle Onassis, a Greek billionaire. Why they planned that? Because they wanted his billions too. They simply replaced my mother in 1975. So the Jackie Kennedy the whole world knew wasn't even Jackie Kennedy. She was just an imposter. She married a billionaire. Well, the way the system's fixed with husband and wife, when one dies, the spouse that's living gets all the assets. So they faked my mother. They acquired those billions of dollars from the Kennedy family right then and there. It wasn't my mom. It was a fake imposter. They had her marry another billionaire. So now they kill that billionaire. We're talking billions and billions and billions of dollars right to the mafia within our very own government, our secret fucking service. The same people that are put in place to protect the president was used to steal and kill. And it still goes on to this day. Donald Trump is in totally controlled by this organization.
Okay, I saw some intel a couple days ago. I thought it was really interesting. It talked all about what was going on, and at the bottom it said, and John F. Kennedy Jr. is the real president. And I was like, wow, they've snuck that in there, but they're really bucking not to have you president, the real person. They're bucking to bring someone back, right?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, I didn't die on the plane, right? But here I am, and I'll
they
help you
are,
guys out, right?
and I believe Caroline Kennedy, the one that's an imposter to this day, is behind a lot of this because she's in charge of the whole Kennedy estate right now.
Yeah.
She has laundered so much money to the mafia. She is not my sister. My sister was murdered and replaced by this woman posing to be Caroline Kennedy to this day. It's so huge. Organized crime in the
Yeah.
world needs to wake
Yeah.
up that how,
Yeah.
how, how they're operating, and I'm exposing it.
Yeah.
That yeah, they simply unalive you and become you,
Yeah.
and it's gone on. I've seen it my whole entire life. My life hasn't been easy. I've seen my father and mother and sister and aunts. And I've been, they don't tell you when you're 3 years old and your father was just assassinated that, hey, part of the plan is we're coming after you too, you know, but that's how they operate.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to yell and scream and get the story out that, hey, this is how they operate and this is what they do. And the world needs to wake up to the fact that it's all planned. It's all one big, great movie. And we ain't invited to their club. It really breaks my heart when I see Donald Trump supporters and they're actually supporting a criminal organization and don't even know it. They just think he's there to help. 1 minute, and people, all you got to do is pay attention to the lies. Anybody that lies to you one time, not just one time, does not need to be our president, put in place by we the people to lie to us. Not one lie, but yet there's thousands of freaking lies. It just doesn't stop. Every single day is a fucking lie, and we shouldn't have allowed it once. We,
Yeah.
we need to change the system when they think they can get away with standing at a podium speaking to the United States that put them in power. Yeah.
We're seeing that more and more though. Like in the recent year or so, we're seeing all this craziness come out of Trump's mouth. First he says X, then he says the opposite, and blah, 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 blah. We know that he's not the real Trump, right? We've got an imposter there in his place. There's a big show going on. So it's one of those things. Oh, look at me over here while they're doing all this stuff over there. That's how they operate, and that's what they've been doing. They've been distracting us, just like now. Look over here. Don't look at the Epstein files that we're all in. Look over here. We're going to do this crazy stuff against the people. Don't look at this, though. And
And
people
let's
just,
kill 180 little schoolgirls in Iran. Okay, so you got the Epstein files, and you got everything coming out about all these victims, these little girls, but yet all of a sudden we're going to kill 180 little girls, and that'll make up for the Epstein. This is bigger, but it's okay because it's war. That
yeah.
total freaking distraction. Totally.
Horrible, horrible. No one wants that. No one wants that. No one supports it. No one authorized it, right? They're just doing it because they're desperate, and it's going to be really interesting what happens in the next couple of months. But again, they've been promoting the Trump John Jr. like political ticket for a while. But okay, if the John Jr. is alive, okay, where is he and why hasn't he been out there telling his story? Why would we vote for a dude that's been gone 25 years? Well, people are stupid enough to do that, but that's what they're hoping. They're going to bring back a guy that says all the right things. You know, I personally believe the political system in America is pretty well dead, and I don't think it's going to be the same as it used to be, and I think that's a good thing, right? It's
No,
supposed to
we
be
need to
for
make
the
our
people.
government where, everybody in our government is on the take.
Yeah.
Everybody is there because they make such a good salary, and they can do the side jobs and make all that extra cash on the side to live the good life. We don't need that. We need to eliminate the way this, our forefathers gave us the right to eliminate that
Right.
because they knew how greedy people were
Yeah.
and what they would do for money and power. So we need to take our government down. We need to take it back, and we need a new infrastructure. We shouldn't allow these people to stay in year after year after year where they can get their foot into the organized crime of it all. And we need to give it to we the people, the lions, the school teachers, the waitresses, and the chefs, and just real Americans, the truck drivers, and the biker. We need to give it back to who originally started it and put these people in power.
Right.
And now they think they can get away with murder, and they do.
Right.
But have they really got away with it? They're not going to.
Well, I don't think they're going to. I know they're not going to. Now, some of them have expired, so they theoretically did, but then you have to look at the bigger picture. We're talking just a lifetime. Oh, maybe they live their life, but they have a soul, and I wonder what's going to happen to that, right? So we know it's not a good thing.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people unalive in my life.
Yeah.
I know the guy that murdered or the crew that murdered my sister. They're not alive because, I'm 65 years old, and when I was 15 years old, they were already in their 60s and 70s. These people think they're going to live forever, and they take lives away that that are way too young. I don't know where I was going.
Well, they don't value human life. We're viewed as basically cattle, right? So we're there to do the work and pay the taxes and the fines and the fees and use their this and that, their resources and but provide the work and the services for them, right? Yeah. So,
Yeah,
well,
I'm a firm believer on Robin Hood. I
yeah.
really am. We need to do the Robin Hood thing sooner than later. We need to build this country back. We need to bring jobs back. Um, I replaced my tires on my Harley the other day. Harley Davidson made in America. And I pulled the rim off, and on the inside of the rim, it says made in Japan. Go figure. So, yeah, we really need to start, but that's part of their plan is to destroy America. It really is. Have everybody work at Walmart and not have, you know, mom and pop shop. It's all a plan
Yeah.
to destroy us,
Yeah.
enslave us all. And
Yeah.
my father said that in a speech before they assassinated him. Somebody made a comment. Well, what do you mean we're enslaved? How do you even answer that? It's like it's all we're enslaved. You cannot do anything free in the land of the free.
Yeah.
Nothing, nothing is free anymore, and everything is overpriced.
That's why I always say that we are the free range people. Okay. Like we don't know we're in the big chicken coop, if you will, right? We're bebopping around doing our thing, working, living our lives. Now we've got the phone in our face all the second. We're not paying attention at the bigger picture of the world, right? So we think we're free. Now, some of us are getting picked off around the edges, but it's over there, so it's okay. It's not us. Now we're finding out that is not what's happened. There's a plan there. That is not cool, guys.
My
Not
sweetheart,
cool.
my sidekick just came in the house.
I
Hi.
Well, we're about ready to wrap up today, but before we go, I wanted to basically direct everyone to John's website, the real John F. Kennedy Jr.com. And if you don't already have one, please purchase a healing and protective pendant. It's not a great photo right there, but on one side is John's picture from Stolen Identity, his first book. And these pendants come in two sizes, five different colors, and they contain billions with a B, healing and protective frequencies, anti-aging, healing, EMF protection, and all of that. Proceeds from this will go to support John and his living expenses and all the other projects he's got going on. Right. So there's the pendant. This one is in rainbow, which is my favorite. It's kind of like a pink, purple, green kind of combo. And then we have, of course, all the books that we've shown, all right, on their website as well. This particular book, banned from Amazon, which I actually kind of think is funny now. At the time, it was not funny, but it is funny now. That goes to show you where Amazon's loyalties lie, right?
And if you all go to the website and show your support by purchasing a pendant or a book, you're I don't know how to put it. You're helping history in the
Yeah.
making.
Yeah.
You're helping my life be better and help get the word out
Yep.
so we can pay the internet bill and our bills and yeah. When I first started sharing my story, I was in total poverty. Since my whole life, I lived in total poverty. I really did. That was their plan to silence me. If you're living in poverty, you can't get a story out. Nobody cares. When you're walking homeless, kicking a can down the road with duct tape on your shoe, nobody's even going to believe your story that you were the son of an assassinated president. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to believe you. And that was done on purpose by these same people. And my story keeps getting out more and more each and every day. And it's
Yeah.
all appreciated, people. It really is.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your support. So that, like I said, it goes to help John get his story out. So again, it's David fighting Goliath, right? We're just regular people talking about the story, trying to fight the system to get the truth out there. It takes time. It takes people's support in various ways. It takes people sharing the story in their way. So thank you all for what you do to help John.
Much appreciated, Lions. Much
Thank you,
appreciated.
John, for all your courage and your persistence. I really love that. Thank you so
Thank,
much.
thank you,
All right.
Sue. I appreciate you and your friends and the Lions and everybody.
All right.
We're 84,000 on Facebook and we're still
Awesome.
growing.